Ladies and gentlemen, the brush hog has arrived. So Briggs & Stratton engine, 10.5 horsepower. It's maybe it's not brush hog, but this brand here, DR Field and Brush Mower. So I'll start correcting myself. I'll start saying the Dr. Field and Brush Mower. So yeah, I just gotta get it out of the crate here. Let's see what's inside that box. I'll take this box off in a minute. Hopefully it's not super heavy, so I can load it onto the back of my truck. I do have ramps, so I'll be using the ramps, so I'll show you when I do that. But let me get this box off. Got a couple items in there along with the instruction manual. So I'll go over the instruction manual, and I'm assuming that plastic cover that's right there goes over this, so nothing gets into the into this where this belt is at. And once the sun goes down, it gets a little bit, I mean, it's not gonna get cooler, but at least the sun won't be blazing because it's the heat of 1,000 suns right now. I'll come out here and put it together, and then I'll load it to the back of my truck so I can start taking it. Man, and my truck needs a bath big time. Got it fully assembled. It's gonna be ready to rock tomorrow. The doctor is in. So I'm just gonna show you how I get the machine down, and I got the tarp on it because the days are extremely hot, and I want to give the machine some kind of protection because I'm not taking it down off the truck when I get home. I just back up on the driveway and put the end to the garage. I do have a bike lock on it. Not sure if you can see it from there, but let's put it in neutral. That's how I get it off the truck. To get it on the truck, I just put it in low gear and drive it up real slow. Just take my time, no rush. Review of the DR Field and Brush Mower. This one is the Premier 26. It's got the Briggs & Stratton E1050, 10.5 gross horsepower, 344 cc's. Field and Brush Mower. It gives you all the guidance that you need, and in case you need some additional help, you got the phone number and the .com right there. When the mower does come in, it doesn't come with oil, so the oil must be filled. Here's where you fill up the engine oil. It took one small bottle of 30 weight. That's the recommended oil to use on here, so I filled it up with that. You are supposed to check it after every couple of uses. Check that oil level, so that's what I'll be doing. Let's get over to this side. Here's where you crank it. Here's where you fill it up with gasoline. And when you hear that click, that means it's on there tight. Okay, so features up here. This is a good feature to add oil before starting the engine. If you don't read the directions that it comes with, you might do the mistake of cranking it before even adding oil. Here you have the trigger. This is your blade engagement. This trigger right here, it's locked. Can't move it until you hit this release. See that release right there? Then I can move it, and that engages the blades. So I like that feature. When you let it go, the blades stop. I'll look at the other trigger. Now this trigger right here, it was set up the other way. This was up here, and I was finding it kind of annoying. In order to get it started, I had to come around and over, grab it, and then pull it down. So last night I flipped it around, have it right here, so now I can just do this. Much easier versus having to pick up my whole hand to come over it and then bring it down. So here I never have to let go of it, and when I want to stop the motor or stop it from running forward, just let it go. So I made that change. I think one of the recommendations, or one thing I would do differently instead of this type of throttle, is like a motorcycle throttle. That way I never have to let go. I just have to do that, and I'm going forward. When I want to stop, just bring it forward like a motorcycle throttle. That's one thing I would do differently. So, and plus this is real flimsy. So if and when this plastic breaks, if it's possible, and I can put a motorcycle throttle on here instead of this kind, I'll do that. I'll put a motorcycle throttle on here. But I'll let the warranty expire on this thing before I do anything like that, because I don't want to make any modifications and then it voids the warranty. So that'll be way down the line. Here you have your position for your engine speed, all the way up to the choke, and you have your stop. So to turn it on, just bring it all the way up to the choke. You get it cranked, let it run for a few seconds, then you can bring it back to full throttle. I take it down to a little bit over the turtle and let it warm up, and then to turn off, just all the way to the left. Here you got your gears. You have your reverse, neutral, first, second, and third speeds. 1 is slow, 2 is medium, 3 is fast. I run all 3 here in the field. If I'm going over something that's a little precarious, because I have these tracks right here that run deep. They may not look that deep, but I have to run it slow because it's difficult for the wheels. I'm finding that it's difficult for the wheels to go over this. So you can see how high up they are. So real irritating that I have those here. Anywho, and also really big and thick brush. I'm running on 1. If the brush is just thick, but there's if the brush is just dense, but there's nothing thick, like no saplings or anything that's thick in there, then I'll run it on 2. And if it's just grass that I'm mowing, then I'm running on 3 to go a little bit faster. And I mean, when I got it down from the truck, I just put it in neutral and just walked it backwards. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to crank it to show you how easy it is to turn the Field and Brush Mower on. There's times where I don't even have to do a full pull and it's turning on. So let's get this set over to the full choke. Let me crank it. So I already have it on the choke position. Make sure it's on neutral. It's on neutral. Now let me crank it. Just let it warm up before using it. I'm just going to go ahead and walk it up. So let me position the camera so you can see how I do that. So as I mentioned, I keep it in the low position. I'm gonna put it in one and just squeeze a bit. I'm gonna lift it up so I can get over the ramps. That's it. Super simple. Then when I get to the top position, I'll let go of the trigger, put it down, and I'll turn it off. Set it into neutral and just push it forward. So another thing that I didn't mention, I do have a strap so I can strap it down so it's not rocking back and forth on me. Yeah, you don't want it rocking back and forth on you while you're on the road. That although I've never had an issue with the tailgate. All right, we're locked in. Now it's not going anywhere. Yeah, like what I was trying to say, I don't want any issues with the tailgate giving up. It falls down and this thing goes flying out and I cause a really bad accident. That would be unfortunate for the people behind me, but also unfortunate for me because I'm the one that's going to be liable for that. And I just got the lock back on. That's just for my peace of mind. It helps me feel secure. Like I said, if I have to go to the store or the grocery store or what have you, and I have it in the back of my truck because like I said, I'm not taking it down. I feel more secure just leaving it, walking into the store, get what I need, and then come out and it still be here because I have it locked. So if somebody does try to steal it, even though they can't take the tailgate down because the tailgate locks, but you never know. Thieves nowadays, they know how to manipulate and break the locks off of these things. So, and this is what I'm using for the back end to tie this down. So I got 2 holes here, these eyelets, and I just gang them together, run one end, and then put it through the loop back here. Now before I can put it on this side, I need to pick the tailgate up, so I gotta lift these. That way I can run the bungee cord through the bottom, and I'm not having to fight it over top. So same thing on this side. I got the 2 eyelets. Now I need to get the bungee cord, run it underneath. There we go, I got it now. That is secure. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be protected from any sun damage. That's the main goal. Also, if we get any type of rain, let me show you what it looks like. If we get any type of rain, I don't want water to get into the engine. So yeah, it's all covered up. The only thing I don't have covered up is the handles up here. That's what I need to figure out, is how to get something that I can put over this, and something that'll tie up, like some type of bag that I can slip over, and then it ties up right here, and I don't have to worry about it, launching and taking off or anything like that. So yeah, covered up. You can see I got the bungee set up right here, and this is fairly tight, so it's not going to be flying all over the place. So that was my review of the DR Premier 26. I'll show some footage of me using it, and I like it. It's a great product. The machine has done what it's supposed to do, knocking all this high brush down, even that big stuff at the very end. Even that big brush takes it down. Got to take it a little slow, but it takes down that big brush without any problems. Does the job, does it fairly quickly. It really isn't loud. Yesterday I forgot to put my headphones on to help with the noise suppression, And by the time I realized, I was like, wait a minute, why am I not listening to music? At the same time, this thing wasn't loud, so it wasn't annoying. You know, there's other tractors and even lawnmowers that are like crazy loud, and you get irritated after a bit because it's so noisy, and then you got that slight ringing in your ears afterwards because it was so loud. If you're doing any type of work on high brush and you have a field that you need to clear out and you don't want to go out and buy a giant tractor with the mower attachment, or having to rent one and you only have it for a day or two tops and you're not paying out the nose. Yes, this one was expensive, just over $2,000 for it. I picked the most inexpensive one they had on their website. Got it financed, which I'm not that fond of, but it is interest free if I pay it on time and within the time frame that they gave me. So that's a plus. At least I won't, as long as I'm not late with the payments, and I make and I pay it off in the time frame they gave me, zero interest. So it's like paying in cash essentially if you do it the right way. So yeah, if you have a lot of brush that you need to be taken care of, I highly recommend it. It's not as fast. It's not going to be as fast as a tractor with a mower attachment, because I think you get what, two 36-inch blades or something to that effect. So your cut is much wider, and you'll knock it out in a fraction of what this one's going to do. But you know what? I don't care. I like to work out. I like to exercise. You know, I'm a big dude. I can lose a couple of pounds, and it gets me working. It gets me to do something. Versus I have an office. I have a desk job. I work from home. I have a desk job, so I'm sedentary all the time. I'm always sitting down, and this gets my legs moving, gets my blood flowing. So that's another reason why I wanted it. You guys saw the earlier videos. I was using my Echo trimmer with a brush blade attachment. It was working, but that's some extra work, and it was also giving me upper body because I'm swinging, you know, left to right. And this one's just giving me, I mean, it still gives me upper body because I'm having to hold and maneuver the machine, but fairly easy to use. So I highly recommend it. It's a machine that as long as I take care of it, I maintain the oil and all the mechanical features, it should last me forever. Just like I've had a lawnmower for like the past 10 years, you know, I keep the maintenance up on it. And I expect to have that machine for much longer than that. And when something does happen to it, I fix it myself. I repair it myself. Just like I got another video, I'm going to show you how I replaced the primer bulb on the trimmer that I've been using. So that video is coming up. That was a short video because it's so easy to change the primer bulb. Well, I'm going to call it. That is the review of the Doctor. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Is it Dr. Field and Brush or is it DR Field and Brush? Don't really care. I'm just going to call it the Doctor. It's much easier for me saying DR. So that's my review of the Dr. Field and Brush Mower, the Premier 26. So until the next one, peace.